This is Flux of fluxwithit.com. I'm over here behind the camera because I don't have my helper today. So we're here at the fantastical Roland booth, post 909 release date, release information date, whatever you want to call it. We got all kinds of good stuff here. Tell us who you are and what this is.
My name is Peter Brown, and I'm a product specialist for Roland, and we are showing off the new boutique models and System 8 synthesizer. We have the tb-03 baseline boutique, the tr-09 drum boutique based off of the 909, and then the vp-03 vocoder boutique, which is based off of the vp-330. So it's a lot of like pretty cool collection of stuff. And then there's also the System 8 over there, which is the much augmented and fully featured System 1 synthesizer, but now it has 8 voices and an expanded effects section and a ton of other improvements. So,
and then we got the System 500 modules.
We have the System 500 modules here as well. That is a must at Knobcon. And then we also have the kind of now the bread and butter TR8 and MX1 mixer, kind of tying everything together.
So the first thing I want to talk about is let's go ahead and talk about the tr-09 and tell me what's different about this versus the tr-8.
Sure, the tr-09 is a completely dedicated boutique to the tr-909. It duplicates the original operating system and way of programming, like with track write and pattern write and pattern play, and it has that kind of old school way of programming it, but it has a lot of new features that make it a lot more convenient and modernized. Like there's a mini USB which will transmit audio and MIDI data to your computer. There's also compressors on the bass drum and the snare drum. There's also a trigger out, which is actually separate from the rim shot. You can actually make your own triggers and control your modular gear with it. And it's also in a smaller size, obviously, and then it comes with this really cool dock, which lets you orient it at different angles. And it's really it's a joy to program, and it's kind of like a cool way to introduce some of these old school machines with kind of a newer audience and have it appeal to everybody.
So the what is it called now? The baseline?
Yeah.
So the tb-03 now, right? How does this differ from the Ira line previously released? What was it? Was it tb-3?
tb-3, yeah.
tb-3, okay. So tell me about that.
So the tb-03 differs from the tb-3 in that, like the tr-09, it's completely dedicated to kind of replicating and bringing the tb-303 into the modern age. It has all the same controls. It has some added functionality as well, like overdrive, multiple overdrive modes based off of old mods that people used to do to their 303s, and there's delay and reverb on it as well, which give it a really kind of nice tonal flexibility, so you can kind of really get some like nice, cool and interesting kind of 303 acid type lines. And then, like all the rest of the boutiques, it has the mini USB out, which transmits audio and MIDI data. It has the mini jacks where you can route audio in and route audio out. MIDI ports as well. There's shuffle. It has the original 303 programming mode, but it also has a much easier to use updated step mode, which is kind of like the tb-3 style of programming. So if you're old school, you can do the old 303 method, but if you are kind of looking for something that's easier to program, you can switch it to the new step mode.
Now tell me about the this case here. Is this just for display here, or is that actually part of the unit?
It's included. It's included with the unit. It's basically a dock which lets you orient it in a couple different angles. So kind of like our K25M minus the keyboard. So something like this, you can have it propped up. You can have it go down. Just doing it with one hand here. Thank you. Or you can have it go completely flat, or you can take it out of it in general and not even use it, but it comes with the unit.
Very cool. And then we've got the System 8, right?
Yes.
Walk over this way, get my wires and stuff here.
Mm-hmm.
So can you tell me a little bit about what's different about the System 8 from the System 1?
There's a ton of stuff that's added to the System 8. First of all, it's 8 voices. It also has 12 different waveforms to choose from. So you have a lot of different kind of flexibility in terms of creating your tones. You have the ability to tune your sub to I think up to 2 octaves in each direction. A really expanded effects section. You have added effects like multiple types of reverb, multiple types of delay, chorusing, modulation effects in general. There's also a ton of distortion mods. And there's also the ability to host multiple plug-outs at once. So you can have the System 8 built-in engine, and then you also have 3 plug-out engines to work with, or plug-out slots to work with. And it comes with the Jupiter 8 and the Juno 106 plug-out included. So that's a huge bonus for what you get with buying a System 8 new. And
a question about that is the plug-outs that are in there now. So you have the Jupiter and the Juno plug-outs in there. Can they be removed to give you room for other plug-outs?
Sure. I mean, like the System 1, you can just overwrite the plug-out that's currently in there. And provided that you actually own the plug-out model on your computer, you should be able to load it back in no problem.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, very cool. Can you tell us a little bit about the sequencer on here?
The sequencer is super cool. So basically, you can have up to 64 steps. It's a polyphonic sequencer, so you can sequence chords. You can either do it in step or real time. You can change the direction in multiple different ways. You can have different speeds. You can adjust first step and last step in real time. You can also record knob automation as well, like different knob values per step, which is pretty cool. And it's really easy to use and flexible. And what's interesting is the System 8 has a performance mode, which will basically divide the keyboard in half so that you're able to have like a lower part and an upper part, or maybe layer 2 sounds on it at once. And each one of those layers has its own discrete sequencer and its own discrete analog effects section. So you can basically have a lot of tonal flexibility, layer 2 massive sounds on top of each other, and really kind of get into cool creative territory there.
Now the Jupiter and Juno plug-outs on there, that's the same as what was in the boutique?
I don't know 100% what they've done, but I like these new boutiques. I'm pretty sure that they've improved, or they've kind of reappropriated it to the System 8 and potentially worked on it, but I can't say for sure.
All right, let's talk about the vocoder here.
Okay, so this is the VP-03 vocoder. It's based off the VP-330. And it's probably the quirkiest and most interesting of the new boutiques, because it has a human voice synthesizer engine, string engine as well, and it also functions as a vocoder. So that's pretty cool. But it also has a sequencer built into it, like the rest of the boutique. So you're actually able to sequence melodic ideas using your voice, and then you can also, what's really interesting about this is you can have these tiny samples. You can actually sample with this thing and put tiny samples on each one of the steps, so that it actually has a different sample per step, and that uses it as a carrier. So you can get really creative and weird with this thing. And like all the other boutiques, you can MIDI and audio via USB. You can even route audio into this unit via USB. So it's very, very cool, and probably the most quirky of the new boutiques.